What's up, comic fam, comic fans, and it's time to dive into those comics coming out this week, October 5th, October 4th, in some shops for DC books. But we're going to get into the books. We're going to get some spec books down, and we're going to get some of those spotlight books, some really cool looking books. We're going to get into it right after this.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Don't forget to subscribe, like, hit that notification bell. Go ahead and throw me a thumbs up. Comment down below. What are we getting this week? Let's dive into it. First, we're going to start off with the spec books, because you know that's how we do over here. First off, we got Earth Divers #1. This is from IDW. Alright, and besides being a pretty interesting premise here, alright, the year is 2112. It's an apocalypse. They decide, I'm just going to summarize what it says here. They're just going to go back in time and figure out when, you know, the catastrophic event had started, and they decide, you know what, we got to go back to 1492 and kill Christopher Columbus before he reaches the New World. That is the premise behind this. Alright, IDW was really known for their children's books, and now it seems to be taking on a more adultish feel. And I guess they got to pivot when you start to lose titles like Star Wars and that such. But besides for this really cool premise, the writer has already stated in an interview that well, I didn't read the interview, but it stated that the writer says that this has been optioned. All right, so this is a book that's been optioned before it even came out. How does that happen? I don't know. But anyway, here you go. If you want a spec, here, what's more spec than something that's been optioned? All right, looks like a pretty cool cover. There's a couple of other covers, it looks like. I just think the A is probably the dopest one. So there you go. That is the first spec book. This week we only have 2 spec books. That's all I put up there. But don't worry, we have 2 spotlight books. But the next one is Edge of Spider-Verse, alright? And this one has, I want to say, 3 new spider characters. So that's why we're doing this. Not because this is any great book with a great event. They've been okay for now, but we've just been introduced to new spider characters and old in a lot of these books. This one has 3. Alright, you've got Webweaver, who I believe is a gay fashion designer. That's the character there. You have Silly Spider, which I believe was made up by the filmmakers behind the Spider-Verse movies. Or Spider-Verse movie. And then you have Hunter Spider, which is kind of a mix between Spider-Man and Sergei Kravenov, or Craven as you would know him. Alright, and I think that is the one that's going to get people interested in this book, is the Hunter Spider. And then I think people will also be interested in a fashion design spider, but I think also having the filmmakers behind the Spider-Verse movie and the one that's upcoming as well, that's also something really cool. So I think this book might have some legs. All right, here's some design variants. There's Webweaver. It looks very fashionistic. And then there's Hunter Spider, and I really think that might be the one that gets people's attention with this book. Alright, apparently there's a spoiler cover. Spoiler covers usually have something that happened inside the book. But there you go. Those are the 2 spec books for this week, folks. Alright, we got not Nottingham, we got Earth Divers, and we have Edge of Spider-Verse. Alright, let's get into the spotlight books for this week. First off, we have Night of the Ghoul. Alright, this is Scott Snyder and Francisco Francavilla, and he's actually a really good artist, Francisco, and Scott Snyder's a really good writer, and what you might have here is a really good book. All right, and also guys, we're in October, so why not do the horror books? I feel like horror books usually are the ones that have the biggest chance for anything past comics, so anything that might make a book jump. I think horror books a lot of times is where it's at, whether it's a cheap thrill or something that's going to be produced with a lot of money behind it. Horror books all day. All right, and this one is it's about a horror film obsessive fan, I guess, who digitizes old films, and he kind of just stumbles across some footage, and apparently the footage, which should have been a movie, has is a little bit more than that. All right, it has something real and insidious behind it, and that's what you got with this book. So, and apparently they have a 1 in 1,000 incentive cover, so that's interesting. Let's just bring in the, yeah, there it is. G.H. Williams, 1 in 1,000. Hey, if you can grab that for a decent price, I say grab it, because I don't think there's going to be that many out there of that. All right, but this is a spotlight book, not a spec book. Okay, and I think this is a really cool premise. All right, next up we have Dark Ride #1. This one just sounds cool too. All right, Devilland has been the world's premier horror-themed amusement park for over 50 years, home to the scariest ride ever created, Devil's Due. But when lifelong fan Owen Seasons begins his first day on the job, he will discover the true horrors happening behind the scenes, the truth about the park's reclusive creator, author Dante, and that the job of his dreams might just be a living nightmare. All right, we have Dark Ride from Image Comics. Joshua Williamson writing it. He's a very good writer as well. Don't really know too much about the other people involved with the book, like Andrea Bresson, who's the artist and cover artist. And then you do have Tony Fleece, who Fleeks, who I'm familiar with, who's a variant cover artist. Apparently I'm familiar with everything but how you say his last name. Alright, and you have Trish Forstner, who we all know, doing a variant cover art as well. Alright, so this is Dark Ride #1, a spotlight book. Image Comics, also under the Skybound imprint. Alright, Night of the Ghoul, Dark Horse Comics. And with that, let's get into the rest of the books coming out this week. We're going to start off with Image Comics. Let's go! You got Dark Ride, which we just talked about. Plenty of covers for Dark Ride, alright? We got some more books. You got Gideon Falls with the Image First. And then you got Farmhands with the Image First. Both really good books. Hellcop, also Image First. Have not read that yet. And you got Ice Cream Man. Marked wasn't too bad either. These are some good books with the Image First. All right, next up we got Junkyard Dog. Okay, and did I say Junkyard Dog? I went with WWE or WWF back then, but this is Junkyard Joe. All right, and it's Jeff Johns, Gary Franks. Okay, and this all comes out of the pretty, I'd say, hit comic Geiger that Jeff Johns was writing. Alright, but you got Junkyard Joe. Junkyard Joe, real American hero. Alright, plenty of covers for Junkyard Joe, by the way. Black and white, it looks like. They got color copies, got all sorts. Andrea Moody on some of these. Alright, just a ton of covers. All right, new #1, Kaya, coming out this week. That's Wes Craig, written and drawn by Wes Craig. All right, he's also worked on Deadly Class and Gravediggers Union, so he's got some talent. I've met him before too. Really nice guy, really awesome guy. All right, what else? You got King Spawn, Sweet Paprika, if you're reading that. Oblivion Song has a hardcover coming out. Rogue Sun, if you're into the Rogue Sun books. That Texas Blood, one of the best like drama, thriller, suspense books out there. I recommend trying it. Give it a try. Alright, and you got The Walking Dead Deluxe for you people who like The Walking Dead in color. Originally, it was just in black and white. Alright, Boom Studios had a lot of books out last week. This week, not so many, but Basilisk keeps going. Alright, you got some Magic the Gathering, and you got Power Rangers Unlimited. Alright, we're off to Dark Horse. And Dark Horse has some books coming out. They've always got something coming. Art of Star Wars, Visions, hardcover. Alright, that might be worth a look. You got some other books here, guys. Mind Management, the original story or arc of that book, the original volume 1, really good Mind Management. Harrow County, Night of the Ghoul, number 1 of 3. All right, that's out. There are a lot more covers than that, so I'm just going to come here and show you some of the rest of the covers that they are not covering. I'm guessing it's because a lot of these are probably incentives. All right, you got 1 in 25s, 1 in 50s, you got the 1 in 10, all right, the 1 in 100, the 1 in 200, the 1 in 500, and the 1 in 1000. Crazy. That's Night of the Ghoul. I think people are banking on that to be big, maybe too big. Maybe I spotlighted it, so I think I was in the right place with that one. Earth Divers, number 1. Okay, that's another book that we're looking at with Raphael Albuquerque. I failed to mention on the cover. He's a great cover artist, all right? I think that's definitely worth a read. All right, and you got some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right, this is all IDW, which, like I said, seems to be, growing up a little bit. Next up, we got DC Comics. We're at DC. What do we got? American Vampires, guys. That's a really good book. That's Scott Snyder and Stephen King. All right, and Scott Snyder kind of showed this to Stephen King, and Stephen King was like, "I want to write this with you." So that's big. That's big. American Vampire, really good, worth a read. What else we got? We got Batman 128. There's always going to be some Batman, and I'll never, knock that. Might make a joke here or there, but what would this world be without Batman? Alright, what else do we have? A lot of books out of DC. Gotham City Year 1. Alright, this is like a origin story of Gotham City, so no Batman in this, as far as I know. Anyway, this is pre-Batman. Alright. Black Adam, Justice Society Files, Dr. Fate. He's supposed to be in the Black Adam movie, so that's why that's out. Joker, Man Who Stopped Laughing, number 1. Alright, that's a Joker book. A lot of people out there love the Joker, so why not jump on that if you are a Joker fan. And what else we got? We got the Superman number 1 facsimile edition. Alright, so if you ever wanted that Superman number 1, here's your opportunity to own a version of that book. Alright, the original might be a little bit out of our reach. Marvel Comics, here we go. You got the Axe Judgment Day number 6 Art Germ Dazzler poster. Not a comic. It's a poster, but I don't know. That's a pretty dope poster if you ask me. Alright, we're gonna keep going. You got Amazing Spider-Man number 1, the facsimile edition. Alright, you know what? Just probably gonna pick that up. Alright. What else do we got? You got Star Fox, and I'm pretty sure this is the first solo Star Fox book out there. So, hey, if you want to check out Star Fox, give it a read. X-Men number 1. This is a tie-in to AXE Judgment. Alright. What else do we have? Some Cap, some Daredevil, second printing, black and white. That's actually a pretty cool cover if you ask me, just with a touch of color splash in there. That's just a dope cover to own. Nothing more than that. Edge of Spider-Verse, and there's your Edge of Spider-Verse books. You got the Hulk, Thor, lots of books. Alright. And Fantastic Four, Savage Avengers. Ton of books. You got Spider-Man number 1. This is a new Spider-Man series connecting to the Spider-Verse, or the end of the Spider-Verse, that we've been talking about. So that's a cool looking book. Alright, so we're gonna get that as well. Alright, maybe we'll get that Arthur Adams cover. Look, I just hit that little button right there, and I say order, and then hopefully it will be at my shop when I show up. Alright, what else do we have? You got a blank variant cover. Hey, if you're going to Comic-Con or something like that, or any con, that is definitely worth picking up. Scotty Young, if you're a Scotty Young fan, all sorts of stuff. Mandalorian number 4 is out. All right, this kind of just follows the TV show. Alright, but there's been some dope covers, so go ahead. And if you haven't really caught up on the TV show, or there was some things you think you missed, not a bad pickup to catch up on the series The Mandalorian. Next up, we're at Dynamite. What do we got from Dynamite? They got the Garbage Pail Kids. Ton of covers. Guys, there's always a ton of covers coming out of Dynamite. So if you're a Dynamite fan, you're never short on finding a cover that suits you, okay? And as you see here, ton of covers. Siren's Gate is new. That's a Shannon Mayer cover right there. We'll just bring it up real quick. Boosh. There you go. Alright, we're gonna keep on keeping on. Alright, you got your Red Sonja and your Vampirella. Some Diamond Select toys, but what we're really interested in is the rest of the books coming out this week. If I missed anything, go ahead, let me know. Put in the comments. Be like, this is definitely worth checking out. Alright. So we got plenty of stuff here. You got a Dynamic Forces Moon Knight Black and White and Blood #1 CGC graded, $75. That's a Bill Sienkiewicz cover. That is pretty dope. So if you like Bill Sienkiewicz, $75 for a 9.8 CGC. Not horrible. I've seen worse. Gun Honey #2. Alright. FOC Emilian Nude bagged, $10. The rest of them, $3.99. I read the original Gun Honey series and it was actually pretty good. Well written, art was really good. Really good covers on that, so Gun Honey, definitely worth a read. Here's the rest of the books coming out this week. What are we in? We're in the N's. Oh, no, now we're already up to the S's. There's not a lot more coming out this week. New York Comic Con is coming this week, by the way, guys, for those of you who didn't know. So, keep your ears to the ground. You might hear some good information coming out of that Comic Con. All right, comic fans. That was the preview of the books coming out this week, okay? Hopefully I helped you to make some kind of decision as to what books you're getting this week. Maybe I filled you in on something that's coming out that you didn't know about, all right? So do what you do. I'm going to do what I do. I'm going to get ready for this week's books. Peace.